I simply cannot decide. I got an idea. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Catch a tiger by his toe. If he hollers, let him go. My mother told me to pick the very best one, and you are it. Nobody moves, nobody says anything. Anyone tries anything, we cut the other boy's eye out and feed it to his father, and then we'll start. You can breathe. You can blink. You can cry. Hell, you're all going to be doing that.
But anyways, as you can tell from this creepy dude, we can I have my watch right now?
No.
Please.
Sorry.
Dang it.
Nope.
Okay, but yeah, we're doing The Walking Dead season
8, baby.
Season 8.
Yay, yay.
Yeah, yeah.
So where we left off on last season, All Out War is
Here.
It's here. So,
I mean, I got to crack some skulls, right? Right, Lucille?
Gotta break a few eggs to make
Speaking-
make an omelet, you know.
speaking of which, what do you think is gonna happen? How do you think where do you think the season's gonna go from when we start out?
Well, I think that I don't like tigers. I think you guys all know that. I don't like anyone that's named Maggie. That Ezekiel dude's a real jerk.
Aqualad.
And Rick's a real a-hole. So there's that. And
I like a-holes. Rick is my boy. I don't know who's gonna win, but
what was that about you liking Rick?
he's my boy.
I'm just gonna get out of here.
I think that'd be a good
my
idea.
boy.
I'm just
I
gonna.
think you're gonna stay right here. You can bear witness to when I kill your other best friend. Anyways, back to the old drawing board. Season 8. Let's see.
Well,
I feel like a lot of people are gonna die because you can't have a war without some deaths.
Casualties, unless it's Civil War. In that case,
Yeah, in that
no one
case,
dies.
in that case,
We're
you
not
have-
in the
only the
correct
black guy
universe.
gets put in a wheelchair.
Whoa.
Dang.
Dang.
Anyways,
Dang.
And that one moment that War Machine doesn't have a parachute, but Spider-Man does.
Oh my god.
I think I definitely think a lot of main characters are gonna get killed off.
I feel like we're gonna lose. I think this is the year that we finally lose Carol. I think for whatever
You
reason,
think-
I think they're fine. I think Daryl is safe. I think they're gonna keep. I probably think that if
They're gonna
if they
keep
think that-
Daryl
that Daryl's gonna live
Link-
probably till like the second to last season or
the
last season.
Same thing
If
with
he gets
Didn't they
killed.
say Carol was like gonna do something this like gonna be you're gonna see a different type of Carol this
Well,
season?
we're gonna get back to, if you look at kind of what the characters' arcs are going through, like we're going back to having like the tough badass like Rick, the tough Carol, the one that was like season 5 Carol that broke everyone out of Terminus Carol.
Yeah.
We're gonna see Daryl, not robed up
Mopey.
and mopey. We're gonna see like him shooting people up and
we're gonna
Like,
see and
Arden.
like episodes like the last episode of season 7 Daryl where he's
So-
just gunning
Oh.
saviors down.
so
Daryl.
okay.
so you're telling me we're gonna get crazy beard Rick back, not the actual beard, but when he was a crazy.
I feel like we're not going to get to that point, but we're definitely going to see Rick where he's back to like not keeping people alive. If you say you work with Negan, you're getting shot. Like
Oh,
automatically.
he said that on the
can't
promo too.
Like if you're with Negan, you're dead. Like there's no.
Look,
You're
it's either
dead.
him or us.
So
There's no middle ground.
oops, sorry, that was my mistake. Here we go. Just kind of want to put that better into frame. There we go. So
think
all
fourth
of
wall
you guys can
breaks.
see it.
I think everybody can
all
see
the
it.
fourth wall breaks.
So obviously you can tell who I'm most excited to see back this season. I think Jeffrey Dean Morgan cast as Negan is probably some of the most amazing casting in terms of that show that
Most
they've done.
definitely.
And
Yes.
so I'm really excited to see kind of just that whole bit that they did for the season 8 trailer when he's like, did you bring your
shitting
shitting pants?
pants?
He's like, huh?
What?
Excuse me? It's like, you're shitting pants because you're gonna be shitting your pants. Like, that's so Negan. Like,
Considering he's so calm, considering there's walkers like
around
around the building.
entire building, right? I'm anxious to see. It almost looks like, are we gonna see eventually? Like, are we gonna see spoilers for the comics? Slight spoilers, but because they're well past it in the comics now. But are we gonna see Rick? I feel like by the
Lose
end of the
his hand?
season, no. I feel like by the end of the season, they're gonna capture Negan and he's gonna be imprisoned in
Yeah,
Alexandria.
because isn't that part of
It's part of the storyline.
and yeah, well, spoilers here. So if you guys want to stop watching here, go on ahead, stop watching, check out some of our other videos. Thank you, sir.
That's only because you're doing such a fine job with this channel. But if I find out that I don't get my tribute next week, we all know what I'm going to take from you next week.
But anyway,
We're going to take away the good hand.
Oh.
I'm going to pull a Rick on you. Anyway, you're going to be like Merle in 2.5 seconds.
But anyways, yeah, isn't there because didn't they say that they're gonna do a time jump this season? Like after the first episode, it's gonna be a time jump or something.
Well, I don't know about a time jump, but I feel like even if you did a time jump, I mean, I couldn't get any sexier as Jeffrey Dean Morgan. So, I mean, I feel like
you're
I'm
gonna have to break character at some point.
I mean, what is it with Negan? I have 3 or 4 wives? That's accurate. Not in real life, but just accurate. Because I'm lonely.
But anyway,
I'm so lonely.
I have
anyways.
nobody for my own. Okay, anyways, just kidding. No, I'm not. Anyways, Walking Dead, with it coming back, I'm also kind of anxious to see because, what's his name that portrays Morgan? He actually did a small role in Blade Runner 2049.
He did.
And so I'm anxious to see.
Ooh,
And Denai Guerrero is going to be, she's supposed to be in this season, plus she filmed Black Panther, so I'm like, but they kind of been kind of on and off, like even Chandler Riggs was talking about wanting to do college, so I feel like they're going to kind of split.
I mean, he's going to Auburn, so
Roll Tide.
yeah, well,
That's why Rick and
But-
company are Auburn and Negan is Alabama. So.
Rick.
don't-
Negan, you
do you
did.
see Crimson on the bat? Sorry guys, I was getting a little. I just saw Glenn on that mic. He's dead, by the way. I killed him. I wish I would have smashed his brain some more. But
you didn't say Negan was on Alabama's side though.
I'm about to break that. I'm about
You
to
ain't gonna break
this
nothing.
back. But
if
anyways,
Negan is on Alabama's side, then that changes the whole game.
Roll Tide.
anyways, let's get back on
I'm gonna
subject.
just Jeffrey Dean
Gentlemen.
Morgan the hell out of this video.
I know you are, and it's really. I'm about to stop this video.
Bubblegum. Bubblegum.
Hey, people are gonna like it, so
And
people like
Right.
our camaraderie. So
Anyways, yeah, I think a lot of. I think a lot of people are gonna die in this next season, and I'm really excited to see what the whole old man Rick bit is about.
I feel like that's kind of like a flash forward of maybe it's a retelling. Like maybe we see Rick a little bit older post-war, maybe like post-war with Negan.
When they're
what's his name? That
When Negan's more
portrays
rehabilitated.
Rick?
Because Rick's becoming, not Rick, but Negan's becoming more and more of a semi-hero, kind of like an anti-hero in the comics.
comics
Like
right
he's they're fighting side by side, and even Rick's kind of given Negan some leadership roles within their
Well,
community.
I would expect something like that, like later on once.
You have two alpha wolves trying to lead a pack, so
Well, it's to the point where they're kind of mutually there's the mutual respect where they kind of
And aren't they going up against?
going up against the Whisperers, which are a bigger
Yeah.
threat than
Well, I
both of them.
think the last time I saw something that they were going up against an organization called the New World Order or something like that.
I'm not completely
Or-
current
or-
on the
or
comics right
something,
now, but I mean,
but-
there's a lot of main characters that we lost in the comics. In
That
terms of like the ones that have already been dead on the show, which I'm not gonna spoil for you guys, but so I kind of want to give our predictions about like who's gonna die and
Okay.
maybe how they're gonna die. So my first prediction, and we can kind of go down the line and try to see if we can pick a different character. So we can have more of a discussion. But my pick for the one I think like the big main character that they're going to kill off is Carol. I feel like she's kind of brushed off death now several times, and she's kind of now her arc is basically kind of done. Like it basically kind of was done after I don't know, like because part of me says that and there's some validity to it because she lost Sophia
Yeah.
and in season 2, and then she grew into this warrior that was not going to be abused anymore, and she was kicking butt, and she and look at the flowers and all this other stuff, and
But
then she became tame when she got to the kingdom, and then
Well, I wouldn't say tame. I would say disconnected
disconnected, yeah,
because of what you had to do with. What was that chick's name? The one that she shot, the Look at the Flowers girl. What was her name again?
not God. I don't remember, but you guys remember that bit. The two girls that her and Tyrese were looking after.
the two sisters.
Right, and so she's kind of been disillusioned with everything since that moment.
And not,
but I mean, she kind of went full.
and not wanting to get close to any.
But you see that
any-
she's got like
anybody
some kind
younger.
of connection with like Daryl. I feel like maybe
Oh,
that's
well,
maybe they're
that's
gonna push
for
maybe
sure.
they're gonna push Daryl's arc forward because that's why they're gonna kill. I feel like that's why they'll kill Carol. Is they'll push Daryl to hate and be on the attack even more.
Right.
Yeah.
Because Carol's, I mean, you look at it, the only remaining people we have from Atlanta is Rick, Carl, and Carol, and Daryl.
Yeah. It was 5. Now we're down to 4. And we might be down to 3 if she dies. But
And that's crazy because I mean it's both basically brothers, Rick and
Right.
Daryl and Carl, his son. I mean like there's no now that's not even like all the characters we loved like T-Dog and Shane and
T-Dog.
yeah, I miss
him.
T-Dog
I miss him so much.
and Dale. I miss Dale. I miss his wisdom.
Yes.
The moral.
I mean,
compass
the
of
way
group.
Dale went.
Speaking-
That was Dale's brother one.
Who?
Dale. The one
Huh?
they handcuffed on top
That's
of the
that's
roof?
Merle.
Oh, Merle. Never mind.
Yeah,
I was
he
thinking
died
of
in
Merle.
season 3. I miss Daryl.
I mean,
Daryl Merle. Sorry.
Mer- you,
But the way he
Merle.
went out.
Merle.
No.
you mean Yondu?
Yes, I miss Yondu Udantu. Sorry.
Mary Poppins, y'all.
I'm Mary Poppins, y'all. I just
But-
got like instead he's like coming down with it's Negan but with his Lucille. It's like I'm Mary Poppins. Anyway, anyways, so your pick.
I'm gonna go with Morgan.
I mean that would be in line with it
Maybe.
because spoiler alert for the comics, but he's already dead in the comics. And
Well, not just that. I mean, I'm gonna go with what you said, but I mean, back to a little bit further. There's only 2 people left from the original pilot episode.
Carl and Rick.
Rick
Was Carl even in the pilot?
No,
he wasn't.
no.
Rick and Morgan.
Rick and Morgan, and I think and they're
Rick and Morty.
Rick and
Morgan. Give me that Szechuan sauce, Morgan.
But anyways,
I need that special spicy Szechuan sauce.
I think
That's what Negan's character arc is. He's been in search of that Mulan McNugget
I
sauce.
think Morgan's gonna bite it.
No pun intended.
Huh?
No pun intended. He's gonna bite it. Biters, walkers. I mean, because he does get mortally wounded, and then Michonne kills him. Like Mercy kills him.
We'll see.
So, well, in the comics, him and her have a thing, but they relegated her story arc and her love
To Rick.
romance love, which I actually like that because to me it made more sense for her because she was more of a better mom almost than Lori because at least Lori was way overprotective and not like
Yes.
trying to shelter Carl.
Well, I mean that,
she's
and
more
she was
like
a little bit too busy, screwing Shane. So
Right, but I mean, like-
also that part.
But for real though, like but for real though, she's
a much
She's much better well-rounded. Yeah, mom.
I mean, there was like when they were on the road to going to Terminus. I mean, I can't count the amount of scenes where her and Carl are just
even in the beginning
when
when I think it's season 3 when Rick goes to that abandoned town and he finds Morgan there, all like kind of crazy. He lost his mind for a second. And they bump.
I have to clear. Sorry.
And then then they had Michonne and Carl like leaving that store and getting the supplies and whatnot. That was a nice little moment. Like he's had moments with her. Like I love when in season 5 or season 6 when they hooked. It was season 5, yeah, when they hooked up, I think. And was it season 5? No, it was season 6.
Yeah,
I think it was season 6 because it was when Jesus, I think, breaks into the house and like
he's like, Rick, I've got to talk.
And then, well, no, not that part. When Carl kind of like finds out about Rick and Michonne, and he's like, you and Michonne, huh? He's like, good for you, Dad. I'm like, and he's like, I was bound to happen. I'm like, Rick was turning into Luke Cage with getting him some hot coffee. Anyway,
Sweet Christmas.
But
Ian,
what's your prediction?
What's your prediction, man?
Well, I have to say that you took mine. I think
Carol's gonna buy it.
Yeah.
Well, do you have a different interpretation of maybe like why she'll die or maybe how she'll die?
Well, to me, overall, I didn't read any of the comics. So
she died a long time. Like near the beginning, she committed suicide.
Oh.
In the
comics, because of her
daughter and everything. Yeah, she's kind of. Yeah.
Well, I don't think because I mean even season 7, she was kind of winding down on her usage and contribution. I mean, baking cookies instead of going out gathering supplies. I mean, she was fully capable. You saw her.
Well, look at the season 7 finale when she's just gunning dudes down with Ezekiel and all that. What I really like is the range that Melissa McBride, who plays Carol, showed when Morgan kind of shows up and tells her about what Negan did and how they were like, how he's like, Negan killed Glenn and Abraham with a baseball bat, and he's like beat him to death. And then she just like the look on her face because Daryl, the one that she's kind of connected to the most besides Rick, like basically straight up lied. Because she's like, is everybody okay? And he's like, yeah, everyone's okay. And he like straight up lied about like it was more to protect her and her feelings because he knew that she was like at a tipping point. But I mean, her acting, like how she just felt and all that was crazy. Like I thought that was like really well done. So I mean, but at the same time, like I would have said the same thing about Maggie, but because of what I know with the comics, she's safe. Jesus is safe. Carl's safe. Rick is safe. I feel like Daryl, like, see, the thing with Daryl is that you can never tell with Daryl, but I'm like, he's so popular that I feel like if anything, he'll die. I think they're gonna save him until either like I think the season finale of like the second to last season, like
or the series finale.
or the last season, like kind of like how they did with one show that I like, Spartacus. They killed off without spoiling anything. They kill off a really crucial character, like the episode before the finale or the series finale.
Yes,
and then they had the series finale, and you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I felt like they could do that because you could have some stakes then of like, once they end the show. But my thing is that, it's like I thought to myself really quick for a moment. I thought about this like the other night when I was laying in bed. I was like, Walking Dead, we're at season 8. A lot of shows, they start to, when you get to this long in the series, like everything starts going downhill. But I feel like Walking Dead's is still kind of, it has that huge following and it's still popular.
But some people were really mad about last season. People were saying, there was too much filler last season. Like,
yeah, there's definitely some.
Like, except the big moments, there wasn't. Like, people were saying the quality was going downhill. It was nothing but filler in between the really big moments and stuff like that. So.
Well, I do agree that there's a good bit of slow moments. I felt like the last half of the season was better than the first half of the season. Like when Rick is like they're trying to scavenge for supplies and like he's trying to rally the other groups to fight Negan and I like how they basically like I like how they kind of just wrapped it all up. Like
Right.
they didn't take like a whole season where it's like mopey Rick working for Negan. Like it's
Right.
basically the
Like
season
the
7
second
opener
half.
with Negan, and then having the whole bit, and then like literally several episodes later, he's like, "Oh, we need to rise up." And I kind of
Right.
like that where they didn't because that was one of my problems with like season 3 was season 3 no season
It was
was it season beginning of season 4 when Rick is like farmer Rick,
Yeah.
and he's like Herschel's like all for him, like being, you know, this like domesticated Rick, and he's kind of like, you know, we can all do this and do that, and then
stop doing all this, trying to survive and just stay here.
live here in the prison,
Yeah.
which that wasn't gonna last anyway.
Yeah,
and then
no.
and then
The governor
and then Herschel loses his head.
head, yikes.
All right,
But what else besides? Okay, so any other deaths? Maybe since I said Carol already, do you think of any other characters? I mean,
Well, I can't speak for Michonne. I don't think she's going anywhere.
she's not
She's
going
not
anywhere.
if it's any of their top fighters, I don't think they're gonna.
If
I feel
had
like
to
I
say-
feel like
off.
Morgan and Carol are like the biggest like contenders.
Because they've been they're the ones that
they've been around the longest.
Yeah, I can see them killing Carl, but I don't.
They're not gonna kill Carl.
I don't think they will. Like the Grimes family outside of Lori is untouchable. Like they're not gonna.
I feel like
touch
honestly,
anyone.
honestly, I feel like Rick, because I feel like Michonne and a bunch of these other like main characters like Morgan, Carol, Michonne, because Michonne could take the place of Andrea, because if you guys know that Andrea was killed off in season three of
Blonde
Walking
chick.
Dead, but she just recently died because she was actually Rick's love interest in the comics,
Mm-hmm.
and she just, spoiler alert, she recently just got killed in the comics, like very recently, like in the last few issues. So they could wind up giving Michonne's like, or Andrea's arc to Michonne and eventually kill Michonne off down the road, which would be interesting. But I feel like I agree with you. I feel like Rick, Carl, and Daryl, I feel like they're not untouchable. And I feel like Negan too, because of Jeffrey Dean Morgan. Like people love his character, and people love Negan. Like Negan's not going
that,
anywhere
and
for a long time.
Negan's, like you said earlier, he's got a lot of
backstory to flesh out. He's
And-
got a lot of
and-
future story to flesh out too.
But I mean, I think this season has the potential to be one of, if not the best season, considering the source material. Source material they're gonna be pulling from.
I mean, All Out War. I mean,
Yeah.
they basically said like every episode, pretty much is gonna have like
It's
a
gonna be a
big,
battle.
like they have a big set piece. Like there was that one bit, the final bit of the trailer, when they showed Daryl like riding his motorcycle and like gunning people down, and then like Rick on the like in the Humvee or in the Jeep, and he like jumps from Jeep to Jeep and like kills people in there. Like, I mean, they're really going out there with like all
Like,
the cool
this is like-
Oh, yeah.
stunts and
This
stuff
is
like that.
this is gonna be their version of the last season of Game of Thrones. Like they're putting everything out there for this season.
God, and
like
I'm
more
like,
than a Michael Bay movie almost.
well,
Slow motion kills.
like they just literally just make every shot that Daryl takes with his crossbow just slow motion.
But yeah, I mean, I think this is gonna be a really good season, and I really can't wait to see what's going to happen as far as this season. Who's gonna die? Who's not gonna die? The plot twists that are gonna happen.
Right.
Because I mean, The Walking Dead, we're gonna have plenty of plot twists. But
Ooh, I had someone I didn't think of that totally is probably gonna buy it this season. Eugene.
Eugene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like Eugene's dead.
Well, I mean, considering he's kind of a double agent, kind of maybe.
Sort of, yeah.
But
But yeah, I totally forgot about Eugene, but we
He's-
also have, I would say some other characters, but I feel like their deaths are coming later. But like, I mean, you also have to think of like Rosita and
Rosita.
what's the girl's name? The lesbian character, the one that was into
Tara.
Tara. Like I feel like
she's one of my favorite characters. If they kill her off, I might actually be a little upset. I love
like Tara. I feel like Tara's not safe. Rosita's not safe.
Well, considering
'cause-
considering Rosita shot this pretty little lady, I'm pretty sure she's not.
It's be okay, Lucille. It's gonna be okay.
But
The time will come.
but yeah, I mean, I think that's it.
So,
yeah, that's it for me.
uh,
I mean, if I had to name any character, I'd choose Maggie, but I don't
No.
Maggie's not.
no,
Nope.
nah,
Because of her comic book arc right now. No.
And considering she has a baby in her, they're not gonna go Game of Thrones. Sorry.
Well, I'll say this though. In respect to that, I mean, they literally killed Lori in the
Yeah.
comics and had her and her baby,
Yeah, I
Judith
mean, that's
killed.
why. That's why.
In the
But,
comics, though, but that's comics
yeah.
and killing like a baby on screen or knowingly
Or
killing.
two-
It's,
or
it's
two
No,
totally
I'm
different.
talking about
Totally different
killing
things.
Maggie, not
Well-
the baby.
Well, if you kill
You know,
Maggie,
the baby dies.
Yeah. Oh well, yeah, that is obvious. Unless she has a birth like
Boy.
Lori.
Yeah, you're gonna emergency cut a baby out after she's been
Any-
like. Anyway, wouldn't it be crazy? She gets bit, but then they pull the baby out and the baby's zombified.
I don't think it would happen that quick. But anyways,
Plot twist.
I mean, Walking Dead plot twists go hand in hand. so,
Right.
maybe. But
Well, I mean, look, really quick. The
right.
misdirects with how they basically like in the comics. Now, because we can talk about Abraham in the comics, he actually got Denise's death. Or actually, she got his death because in the comics he was shot through the head with an arrow, and that's how he was killed. So, but in the show, he's beaten to death with Lucille. Suck my nuts. So, my thing is that they could do a misdirect. We could have a character take another person's death, like within the show.
I mean, they did that last season for the season premiere.
Because I will say this: there's several characters that are alive on the show, but they're
That
gonna
should be dead.
But they either should be dead or they're going to be dead when the Whisper War comes. If they follow that plot line, but they could totally kill them off and then save characters differently. But anyways, that's all I have to add.
Yeah, that's. I
Yeah,
mean,
that's
that,
pretty much it.
I hope you guys enjoyed this video. So, until next time, you sweaty nerds.
Bye.
That's all for today's episode. Thank you guys for watching.
And be sure to like this video and subscribe.
And click the link in the description below to follow us on social media.
See you guys next time.